Hey there guys, Keaton here with a vlog. Now don't worry, I promise these won't be very often, but I thought it would be a good idea to do one of these because I do have a couple of things I want to talk about, and I also think it's probably a good idea that I do some official welcomings or introductions, if you will. So actually, let's start off with that. So welcome back to any returning viewers who may already be familiar with who I am and what I do, at least on the YouTube front. And for anyone who's new here who may not exactly know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. Hello, I am Keaton, aka Mod0, aka the person responsible for the channel that you're currently probably watching this on. And in terms of familiarity with at least YouTube sphere, I'm probably best known for my work with the channel Tengu Drop, which is a channel that I co-run with a friend of mine named Joe. It's a variety gaming channel which up until recently was putting out daily videos covering pretty much everything on the video game spectrum, and I'm willing to wager that arguably my most notable content on that channel is the Nuclear Throne content, which funnily enough was not for my gameplay but for the fact that I covered the Nuclear Throne weekly updates from pretty much the very beginning. So I'm very much a behind the scenes type of guy, but I do my best to try and provide entertaining videos, mostly at the expense of me being absolutely terrible at them. But nonetheless, it's a nice break from the monotony of real life, so that's the reason I like to get really dumb and weird in my videos. But anyway, that's enough about me personally. Let's talk about channel things, because it has been a month since I officially started pushing out content to the channel, and in my opinion, pretty solid start. Now, I know not everyone is a fan of horror games, but as was tradition on Tengu Drop, I like to spend October playing a lot of the scary games that I usually don't get to play, or scary games that I've heard about that I've hadn't had an opportunity to play yet. It's a nice usual change of pace from the regular content that I tend to create for Tengu Drop on a regular basis. So I decided to carry the tradition over to the new channel, and it was an actual like happy coincidence that I decided to launch the channel in October, because for anyone who doesn't know or maybe doesn't remember, I got pretty sick at the tail end of September during the final weeks of regular content for Tengu Drop and going into the start of my solo channel. Being able to record games that had a narrative which didn't require a ton of editing, because you know the atmosphere and sort of overall experience was kind of important to that type of let's play. It actually really helped me compensate for the fact that I wasn't able to record anything for like 2 weeks. So while horror games may never be my forte, they actually really helped out. But alas, that was October. It is now officially November, and we are about to kick it into high gear starting next week. So let's talk about it a little bit. So first off, huge shout out to everyone who has still been watching Nuclear Throne Roulette. It was the one series I knew that people would probably still be interested in seeing carry over from Tengu Drop. So while the initial first episode wasn't too hot, we had a pretty good follow-up episode after that. Really glad to see y'all still watching it. And can I just gush a bit about how awesome you guys are? Because the series that I have been talking about a lot leading up to the channel's start was Let's Dev, and you guys have been awesome. Not only has it rivaled Nuclear Throne Roulette in terms of numbers, data-wise, but the amount of response, the positive feedback, and just overall interest in that series has been so beyond what I expected. I expected people to look at this and be like, this guy sucks, this is boring, yada yada. But I'm glad that at least in this initial phase, this initial version of the Let's Dev series, that you guys enjoy it. And it makes me even more motivated to make sure that series continues to be a very entertaining piece and worthy of such a great response. And you can be sure that Nuclear Throne Roulette and Let's Dev will continue in November, but there's also a ton of new stuff coming in November. So let's talk a little bit about those. So November, the floodgates for potential new series are just going to be flooding out. You're going to see a lot of #1s start appearing on the channel. Now, I've already recorded at least 2 episodes for a lot of those potential new series, because the way I'm going to be doing things on this channel is a little bit different from the way that I did them on the Tengu Drop. And that's mostly focusing on what you guys want to watch. So I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you're probably at least a little bit invested in the content that you see on this channel, probably more so than the average person who just might come across my videos. So I'm gonna put it out there. If you enjoy a series on this channel, whatever it might be, Nuclear Throne Roulette, Let's Dev, whatever else I may put out in November and beyond, if you enjoy it, leave a like, leave a comment, some form of communication that lets me know that you want to see more of this content, and I'll try my best to put out more content for the things that you guys want to see. And that's part of the beauty of this solo channel, is I get to do a lot of experimentation and just throw things out there, see how people like it, and then adjust accordingly. Speaking of things that I want to throw out there, back on Tengu Drop, I talked a lot about doing more full playthroughs of more narrative-based content such as Undertale and Firewatch, but I just never had the time, opportunity, or just generally scheduling that stuff was next to near impossible. So I did want to throw out the possibility of doing those games on this channel, and the way it would be released is very similar to the way that I released a lot of the Layers of Fear and Yearwalk stuff that I did in October. So yeah, if you want to see Undertale, if you want to see Firewatch played to completion, and actually as well as Oxenfree, which I just got in a Humble Bundle, I'm really interested in looking at that game. So if you guys want to see like full playthroughs of those games and see my entire experience from start to finish in those types of games, narrative driven games, be sure to let me know in the comments, let me know on Twitter, just let me know that you guys want to see that, and I'll highly take it into consideration. I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting on a couple of hours of Undertale. I haven't edited any of it yet, but I've been sitting on that for God knows how long. So, you know, it wouldn't take long to at least get one of those trains rolling. I'm just putting that out there. So everything I just talked about in terms of like November stuff is a nice summary and idea of where I want to go with this channel in the future. When I was making regular content for Tengu Drop, a lot of it was first impression stuff with a little hint of series-based stuff like Nuclear Throne Roulette and so forth. But I want to move away from that. I actually want to take some time to get invested in games and put out serial content that really just explores what a game has to offer and what I can do in those games and what kind of fun things and stupid things and weird things that I can get done in those types of games, or just a similar concept in general applied to games of a similar fashion. For example, playing multiplayer only games on my own, or a very, very ambitious potential project that I've been trying to find time to just test. It's arguably a mixture of let's play / animation. So it's a very ambitious project that I don't want to talk about too much, because if I hype it up too much and I end up not doing it, then that's a major bummer for everyone. So I'll just leave it at that. It's a very ambitious project, and there is a ton of ambitious projects that I want to get to. But considering November is the first official month where I'm not, focused on like horror games, I want to see where the content that I already have goes, and that'll give me a better idea of how to go about approaching a lot of the weird and wacky ideas that I do have. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so let's wrap this up. I did want to end this vlog with some great news. Once again, not only will Nuclear Throne Roulette and Let's Dev continue into November and beyond, but hey, even better, I recorded the next episode of Let's Dev and the audio commentary was not lost. So, yay! Knock on wood, as long as nothing happens between now and the release or editing process of the next Let's Dev episode, it'll actually be an episode with live commentary that won't require me to recap. So that in itself is a pretty great reason to celebrate. If you don't know why, you should probably go ahead and check out the last episode. You'll get some greater context as to why this is a good this is a good thing. But anyway, through all of this rambling that I've been doing, I hope you sort of get the gist. I am very excited for what's to come in not only November, but December and so on, as long as I can keep doing this. Oh, there is one more thing I did actually want to talk about. Now, if you do not use an ad blocker, you may have noticed that ads are appearing on my videos. That is not an accident. I am actually putting ads on the videos. I've gone with the least intrusive of ads as I could have possibly gone with. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. You don't need to do anything, don't need to worry. But hey, I will say that if you are using an ad blocker and you would like to support me in some other fashion, consider whitelisting or disabling ad block momentarily while you watch my videos. I don't know how ad blockers actually work, but if you do continue to block them, hey, no problem. I understand. Ads are incredibly annoying. But I did want to throw that out there because usually ads on our videos on Tengu Drop meant that the video was going to be deleted or privated because we couldn't fight copyright shows. But nonetheless, I meant to sandwich that in with everything else that we were talking about on the channel. Now it's sort of at the end and it's awkward. I apologize. But anyway, so once again, thank you to everyone who has watched Nuclear Throne Roulette, and especially if you've watched and contributed any a thumbs up, a comment, or just a lovely view to that series. I love you guys so much for continuing to support that and support everything that I've been trying to do here. It's pretty tough starting from scratch, but you know, having you guys along for the ride is making it a lot less of a bumpy ride, a lot more fun. It's great to know that so many of you guys have followed me over from Tango Drop. Hope you guys are still enjoying the content. Again, I know that horror stuff isn't exactly the most fun thing to watch, but hey, you know, a little bit of a plug here. If you didn't want to go through all the spooky stuff and you just want to see me get scared, or just silly things that did happen to me during the spooky month of October, you can go ahead and check out the Spooky October compilation that I put out earlier this week and get a nice taste of everything that happened throughout the month. But anyway, that'll do it for this vlog. Again, I'm probably not going to do these very often because there's really not much I can talk about. Life outside of videos is very mundane, as I've said. So, but if there's anything important that does come up, or if I just want to touch base with you guys in the future, I will through the vlogs. But hey, if you know there's anything on your mind that you wanna send my way, if you like the video, if you didn't like a video, be nice about it. But you can always tweet me at modest_0 on Twitter, or leave a comment, send a message, whatever. I always enjoy interacting with you guys. But nonetheless, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Let's see if this works. No. What? You know what? Maybe I was right all along. Hold on. Fun fact, when you're writing code, you might want to check your spelling. I really should have just copy pasted to make things quicker on my